What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today we are going to be entering into FUT Champs. I've got two teams that I built. I'm going to show you these teams at the end of the video when I go into the live section because I'm weird like that. However, you can see one of the two teams on screen now. I'm going to talk a lot about my squad building, so if you do want to take like a screenshot of the team and the players and stuff, just so you know what I'm talking about when we go to reference it, go right ahead. I built these two teams on stream though. I feel like we've got like a really good setup going on here. I'm going to explain why I'm happy to use players off cam and why I'm not using other certain players. And also I have the attribute cards on as well because I was talking about attribute cards on stream. And I guess I'll talk about it in this video as well if we have time. But first things first, thank you guys for being here. If you could drop a thumbs up, it would be very much appreciated. And let's get into some of the comments from the last video before we move on to talking about attribute cards and squad building. So the first comment, as we go into the first game, is from Ngolo Lover. He says, "Hey Nep, I have heard some rumours about have to see if you would get a good player before even buying the pack. So if you look closely between a picture of a special pack and the price of coins the pack, there is a small line with different colours. Some of my mates say if you can tell if it is a good player or not just from seeing the colours of the line. Really hope you see this and discuss it. Have you heard anything about it and do you believe it?" I've heard lots about it. It's just nonsense, dude. I can't believe people genuinely believe it. And what happens is people will use confirmation bias. 1 million people will open a pack with a good line and get nothing. And then one guy will open a pack with a good line and get an inform. And everyone will be like, "Oh my god, see? It's proven." No. It's the way packs work. It was discussed by a developer and by somebody who like does this kind of thing. Like, the contents of the packs are not generated until you press A to open the pack. It then sends a ping to the EA servers. It generates the strings which give you the cards, and that's how you get it. The colour of that pack is entirely irrelevant. And in any sense, let's assume that it was true. Let's assume that it was true that every time you saw a specific line underneath the pack, you got a good player. Do you not believe that EA would be like, "Oh crap, we can't be having that, everyone getting brilliant players at their whim, you know, oh, let me open a pack, no problem, I know I'm going to get a good player." Do you not believe that they would remove that, or remove that line, or close the market or something, you know, stop people from opening packs? Because it's ludicrous if people think that EA would just allow people to pack great players whenever the hell they choose. So yeah, I absolutely don't believe it. And somebody else also explained why that line's there. Apparently it's like, you know, like if you use Photoshop and you put an image like 1 pixel too high, and you've got like, let's say you've got like 2 images, but they're actually the same image, and you're just trying to frame one image, and you put that image there, and you move it 1 pixel too high, and the top line of that next image comes in. Apparently that's what the issue here is. There's 1 pixel about, I don't know, about 50 or 60 pixels wide that is there, and it draws colours from all over the place. I don't know how it works, it's just the explanation, so that's how it's like mentally in my mind. It draws colours from all over the place to generate the different colours on the line. It has absolutely no bearing at all for what the contents of the packs actually are. So don't go wasting your money thinking that you're going to get a good player, because you won't. Callum Corson says, "Why didn't Mkhitaryan or Ibra get a one to watch card, as they have got way more special cards than some other ones to watch? Obviously EA can't predict the future, but it's quite strange that they have been left out 2 great players. Is there a maximum amount of ones to watch from one club, or is it they are too old? Mkhitaryan is 28 though, and Higuain is 29. What are your opinions?" For Ibra, he's too old. They have ones to watch as the player has to be under 30 years old. For Mkhitaryan, I don't know why they didn't. Maybe because there was Pogba and he was huge anyway. I don't know. I like back at the start of the season, I thought Mkhitaryan would be a ones to watch card. I also thought like Xhaka might be a ones to watch card. Like, you know, they gave it to Mustafi. Like, defenders don't even really get informs anyway. Like, you shouldn't be giving it to defenders. But that's why more ones to watches would be great anyway. I enjoy the concept of them. I think they add a nice value to the game. Good trading, good discussion, makes watching real life matches interesting if you've got a ones to watch card. They look great, you know, they could be used in SBCs. Just generally speaking, I think they're a great addition to FIFA. Logan Elliott says, "Hey Nep, don't know why this is, but how come Cavani got a 300 goal milestone, but Sergio Ramos hasn't got a milestone SBC, but he's played over 500 games for Real Madrid? Love the vids, keep it up." Well, first things first, it does seem to be that 600 goals, 600 games is a milestone for games. Both Buffon and Gareth Barry got theirs for 600 games. So I assume in another 2.5 to 3 years, should Ramos still be playing, should FIFA still be a thing, should SBC still be there, that would be a milestone for him. But in terms of goals, I think 300 goals for a striker is spectacular. It does then beg the question as like, if somebody's already surpassed that milestone, they're never going to get an SBC. So we're never going to see a Ronaldo or an SBC goal scoring milestone because they're already way above that 300 mark. But I think it sets a good figure. What EA have got to be wary of and be careful of is releasing too many players of the same card so that we hit a stagnant point with that card. And it's already shown in some SBCs. For example, this brand new Higuain card, the SBC for him, it's a 91 rated. It's largely irrelevant because you can get that SBC 91 rated, and it has its pros because every team that you complete you get packs for. So if you can do it for cheap, if you can complete the SBC for cheaper than the packs are valued at, you're doing a good job, and then you also get a 91 Higuain on top of that, which is fantastic. But if you can't do it for cheaper than the packs are worth, you're genuinely better off just going and buying the Inform 91 Higuain for 180k, because not only that, you can then sell it afterwards if you didn't like it. So we're already at a point where some SBCs don't really make sense, you know, like you're not getting a better version of a card, you're just getting a card. And I understand that, I agree in some senses that some of the SBCs should not be tied to their regular cards. I do think the Player of the Month cards should be, because they are performance-based cards. But yeah, random SBCs, like this one that we've got here, I guess it is in a sense performance-based, but it's based on last season's performance. But yeah, I guess random SBCs, I absolutely agree that, you know, that they shouldn't necessarily be the best card. But I also agree that they shouldn't just be handed out left, right and centre, because otherwise what you'll end up with is you'll end up with 20, 30 versions of every single really good player in the game and nothing for anyone else. And that's not really, in my opinion, how the game should be geared. Ben Murphy says, "Hey Nep, you always say don't play a player who costs 1 million coins and a bronze team around him. I think you should sell Ronaldo and switch Hazard to left forward. I know you like Ronaldo, but in my opinion, he ruined your team. Not being a dick or anything. I don't think you as being a dick. Yeah, I believe that. I don't believe you should spend all your money on one big player and have really bad players around him, when you could sell that big player, get a really well-balanced team, and then work back towards that big player. This isn't what's going on here. I don't have a bronze team around my Ronaldo. I have 94 Suarez. I have 92 Ibra. I have Informs and SBCs and super high-rated cards. I don't have a bronze team, or even the metaphorical, you know, the metaphorical value of a bronze team. It's not like I've got Ronaldo, Suarez, and then Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Jack Wilshere, and, you know, the regular version of Emre Can, and you know, like Davies at left back, and you know what I mean, like Williams at centre back. I don't have that. I've got an incredible team around Ronaldo. You may think he ruins my team. I believe different, and I absolutely 100% believe he is the best player on this game. He scores unbelievable amounts of goals, gets crazy amounts of assists, his physicals, his skill moves, he's got everything. He's got absolutely everything in this game, and I would happily play him on 8 chem with Suarez on 8 chem every single team, every single time, because they are just that good. But if I had Ronaldo and a shit team, yeah, I would sell Ronaldo and bolster my whole team, and then go back to looking at getting Ronaldo a little while later. But that's just not the case. That's just not the case. Next comment is from Joe Carew. Says, "Hey Nep, do you think EA should add 100 plus rated players in FIFA because of how many special cards like Messi, Ronaldo, Suarez, Lewandowski, etc. have? Would love to hear your thoughts on this. Keep up the great vids." So this goes back to the SBC stuff a little bit. EA can't do 100 plus players. I know FIFA Mobile has them, but regular FIFA can't and won't have them. I know that for a fact, right? It's like there is no chance that we will get a 100 rated player in the near future. And that does then provide problems, because towards the end of the year, what you're going to have is you're going to have maybe as many as 5 or 6 players 99 rated. We're going to have a 99 rated Ronaldo because he's already in the game. We're probably going to have a 99 rated team of the season Suarez. It's likely that we'll get a 99 rated team of the season Messi. It's likely that Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Robert Lewandowski could potentially get 99s. It's very possible that Gonzalo Higuain might get up to a 99 rated card. It's very possible that Eden Hazard might get a 99 rated team of the season card. Like, there are so many players. We could have as many as 8 to 10 players this season get a 99 rated card. And whilst I like that, what I don't like is the fact that certain cards, like Ronaldo this year, are just done by halfway through the year. You know, he starts off at a 94. That straight away means any team of the season, team of the year is going to be a 99 and a 98. That literally leaves you with 95, 96 and 97. You're offering 3 opportunities to get a special card in for him. What I think they should do is scale down everyone. You know, they start as low as 40 and they go up to 99. Why not start as low as 20 and have Ronaldo like 83 rated and have Messi 82 rated? And do you know what I mean? So there's way more scope for improvement. That will probably come with its own problems somewhere or another. I genuinely haven't thought this through. You know, just for me, starting at 40 and hitting a ceiling, well, start lower, raise the ceiling. That's like my logic. Instead of starting at 20, like I suggested, start at 35. Instead of making Ronaldo a 94 and Messi a 93, make Ronaldo a 91 and Messi a 90. Gives you loads of room for informs and special cards then. But yeah, the amount of SBCs, it's interesting because they've done a lot of SBCs so far, but I think they're missing the trick on what they can do for SBCs. Like, there are so many players that they can give out as SBCs that will drain the market for coins. They obviously do the ones that offer the packs as rewards, marquee matchups, player of the month, the top scorer ones, the league SBCs that we've got, the playing abroad, the League and Nation hybrid. All of these ones, all of these SBCs, they offer pack rewards. What I think they're missing a trick on is doing SBCs that offer no pack reward and just player rewards. They've done a few of them, a few of the Player of the Year cards, the Johansson card, the Tim Cahill card, I believe, didn't offer a pack. I don't know why they don't do one every day of just a random player for a random reason. Doesn't have to be any reason, you know, could be anything. Where you have to trade in a team or a set of items, and in return you get an untradeable, upgraded version of a player. For example, if we take division, the French League, League 1, right? Take League 1. Just go and take any player from League 1. How about we go and get Aurier and give Aurier an 84 rated upgraded card for an SBC, and just have a week of right backs. You know what I mean? It's the right back week. Have 5 right backs at once. So between Monday and Friday, there are 5 right backs. They last 5 days, each of them for 5 days. And there, you know, you have Aurier. You have one right back from a big club or a medium club that is in one of the big leagues. So you could take Trippier in the BPL. You could take Aurier in the next league. You could take Rafinha from the Bundesliga. Let's go with Abate from Calcio A. And from Liga Santander, let's go with, we already have quite a few right backs there, so let's go with just any, I can't even think of one, like Carvajal, right? So you take those 5 right backs, and to get that right back, so to get Carvajal, you've got to trade in somewhere around 50 to 80,000 coins worth of cards. An 87 rated team with 2 informs, or an 84 or an 85 rated team with 2 informs, and all you get for it is that Carvajal. But what that does is it removes items from the market, so it increases people buying packs, and it gives something fun to do within the game. You know, it won't ruin anything much, especially if you give him like a mediocre upgrade. You know what I mean? Like, give him literally +1 across the board: 1 pace, 1 dribbling, 1 defending, 1 physical, 1 passing, 1 shooting, 1 overall rating. So, do you know what I mean? Like, I think they're missing a trick with that, where they can manipulate heavily the market and what's on it and how it works, make a crap ton of money, and make a lot of people very happy, and a lot of YouTubers very rich, because money for videos. Henry Bickerstaff says, just saying, I reckon you should play Hazard on the left wing, Ronaldo on the right wing, as it's better to have Ronaldo on 7 and Hazard on 10 than Ronaldo on 8 and Hazard on 7. And this is, a lot of people suggested this. I don't think people understand that if Ronaldo goes at right forward in this team, he goes on to 4 chemistry, not 7 chemistry, because he only has 1 link. He would need three links, like Hazard has on the right hand side, to get 7 chemistry as a right forward. And on that same note, Kingsley King said, hey Net, what about using Alaba, Boateng, Renato Sanchez in the left? 3 great players, and Ronaldo gets the chem. Again here, Ronaldo doesn't get the chem off of that. He gets 1 link off of Suarez, he'd get 1 link off of Renato Sanchez. He needs 3 links to boost up to 10 chem, so he would remain on 8 chemistry. It wouldn't make any difference. And then lastly, Sammy says, hey Net, love the vids. If you could upgrade 1 in-game stat on 1 player, what would you do? Example, I would give my 93 Higuain 99 acceleration. Would love to hear your idea and keep up the great work. I would give Heung-min Son 4-star skill moves. I know that's not an in-game stat per se, but I would love that Son card to have 4-star skill moves. So going back, guys, to the team. Going back to the team and what we've got. I want this attacking trio, Ronaldo, Suarez and Hazard, because it is unreal. It is the best set of attack I've ever used. And I love the fact that I have the opportunity to play players like Ibra up front as well. And if I switch to a 2-striker formation, I've basically got the means and capabilities to do anything within this team. I know a lot of people said, why don't you start with Pepe at striker or Contrao at striker and then sub Suarez on and have Ronaldo on 10 Why don't you start at a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2 and then change? I didn't want to have to pause the game at kickoff every single game to adapt something to fit a player in. I'd rather fit them in. I'd rather have Ronaldo on 8 than on 10 making me make subs and formation changes and this and that, because it's just tedious, right? And that's my personal preference. I know some people like to do that. Some people like to get the absolute best out of it. But if you look at the grand scheme of things, the difference between Ronaldo getting 8 and 10 is really not that big. It's actually very, very little. Which is fantastic for me because I don't really notice the difference. And that's also why I'm happy to play Manolas on 8 And if like right now I've got Nainggolan linked with Chadley, so he actually gets 10 but I was also happy to play Nainggolan on 8 I'm happy to play Ronaldo and Suarez on 8 because they are phenomenal players as 8 you know, I would like to get Ronaldo on 10 and a lot of people said, why don't you try that new inform Isco? Is it the third inform? I'm going to look at that. I don't really have many coins in the club right now, so I can't really do that at the moment in time. But I would definitely be interested in playing that Isco at left centre mid, Costa at central centre mid, and then obviously Azpilicueta and Alonso at left back and left centre mid, and then maybe put Ibra on the bench or put Ibra at right centre mid. That does intrigue me. That interests me. Maybe keep Roberto Firmino at right centre mid or Dele Alli at right centre mid. But that definitely does interest me. It still doesn't change much for the second team, where I've got Nainggolan in the second team, because it would then still require another link to Ronaldo, which I just don't have really. But yeah, I'm still testing the waters with the teams, you know. And this weekend league, I'm using 2 teams for the first time ever. Okay, I'm using the same attack, but what that's done for me is it's limited massively my use of fitness cards so that we're able to sell the fitness cards on. We'll make profit. I could probably sell the fitness cards that I'm not going to use and be able to afford that Isco. I don't know how much he is. Let me give it a brief check actually. Foot bin, I bet he's like 300k, isn't he? And I'm sitting here like, yeah, I can afford him for 100,000 coins. So the 88 Isco, he's 130k. So genuinely, the fitness cards that I'm not going to be using now, I could sell those on and buy that 88 Isco instead. And his card does look very good. You know, it does look decent. He's got 4-star skill moves. I don't like the height on him. I do like a bulky midfielder, but I wouldn't mind, you know, I've got Nainggolan there at 5'9". I wouldn't mind trying it out. But we'll get into that, dudes. Now, the last opponent we come up for today, guys, he's got a 4-2-3-1 full League One team. It's actually a very, very good team. You know, looking at it, there's maybe the left back I would change, but the rest of this team is phenomenal. This was one of those games for me that I thought I'd figured out over this week. You know, this week I beat some of the best players in the world. And I've played really, really good FIFA. And one of my biggest problems for Weekend League is my lack of composure and my inability to stay focused throughout the sheer number of games you have to play on a weekend, right? Sometimes there's just too many games. Into this game, this was a prime example of that. This was a game where I was generally in control. I had way more shots, way better shots. I had a little less possession by the end of the game simply because at the end of it, my opponent started possession whoring to see the game out. And I've got no faults with that. You know, it's my fault for letting him score the goals to get in the attacking position in the first place. But I thought I'd got around these games. And like that first game that I lost, game 3, it was an even game. Could have gone either way. I don't mind losing games like that. He was a high-skilled opponent. He did a lot of really good things in the game. And he, you know, ultimately he deserved his win. He took his chances where I couldn't. But this was one of those games where it wasn't that I took my chances where I didn't take my chances where my opponent could. It was literally a situation of his keeper made a few wonder saves. I made a few really bad decisions in front of goal. I missed a few really easy chances that could have been goals. You know, I'll play this guy 10 times in a row and I'll probably beat him 8 or 9 times out of the 10 times. He hits a pot shot from 35 yards with Cavani. Like, it's crazy how he scored the goal. And his last goal really actually triggered me. You'll see when the clip starts, this was a winning goal as well. We're already into injury time. He goes down the left-hand side. He gets the ball. I defend it really well. The ball goes out for a throw-in. I'm thinking this is half-time and extra time. He gets the throw in. And he plays it out away from goal. I'm thinking this should be full-time because I've actually had the referee blow full-time on that kind of corner of the box. But no, sorry, not full-time, half-time. He manages to get the ball back out wide. He puts a cross in, and he's one man in the box to my 3 defenders or 4 defenders. And one defender, literally, I think it was Manolas on him. He manages to get the header, and then after that, he just played super defensive, like passed it around the back, shielded it in the corner, fouled me to break up my counter-attacks, things like that, you know, and I don't blame him for that kind of play. Like, that is a legitimate style of FIFA to try and, you know, stop your opponent from scoring. I don't necessarily agree with it personally, but it works. But you'll see from the match stats here, my shots, I've got 3 shots from outside the box, and he's got most of his shots from outside the box. I was really aggrieved to lose this game. Can't change it. Finished 8-2 after the first 10. What are you going to do about it? This, though, guys, is going to be the end of the gameplay section. Let's get into the live video section. So, guys, after our first 10 games, we are 8 wins, 2 losses. I said to you I was going to do this kind of, like live thing all together. I've been logging my stats on FootWiz's kind of game stats section that they've added now, so I can see hopefully where I'm going wrong and what's going wrong with where I'm going wrong. The first loss that I took, game number 3, it was a fair loss. It was a close game. It could have gone either way. I think both of us created good chances, and my opponent just took his chances better than me, and that's fair enough. I wasn't really frustrated at a loss. I literally moved on to the next game, like quite content, because I knew I played good FIFA that game. And then I got 3 consecutive rage quits in a row, bang, bang, bang. And then the 10th game that we just lost, that was such a hard loss to take, you know. I dominated the game. I had far more shots from much better positions, and he literally scored off of a pot shot from Cavani from like 35 yards that I don't know how it went in. Like just a weird shot. And then a header that he scored in extra time in the 105th minute. There was plus 1 minute of injury time, and you'll see the full clip. It was already into injury time. I defended it. It went out for a throw-in. That's 1 minute gone. Not only should he not then have had time to take the throw-in and get the cross in, he shouldn't have had time to basically carry on playing and score the goal. And then for the rest of the game, he just, passed it around his defence and just generally did the dickish kind of thing to get the win. And I'm not concerned about that. That's not my problem. My problem is just that I've dominated that game. I know the possession looks in his favour. He had 56% possession. But for me personally, I felt like I'd controlled that game. I had some great shooting opportunities. Emre Can missed an absolute sitter. I missed some really good goal scoring opportunities, and I find myself just so frustrated because I've been working so hard this week at the small things. We took some big wins this weekend. We beat 7 top 100 players this week. DJ Mario, Bates and Marshall, Medibob, Stop Hit Marker, Phil SKS, and one guy that I matched up against in Division 1. So we beat 7 top 100 players this weekend. And then I genuinely feel like, again, I've lost to a guy. The first loss, as I say, that guy, he was a solid player. I don't know where he finishes, where he ranks. I would assume he ranks elite. He's a good player. But I can't help but feel aggrieved when I lose these games, because these are the games I've been working all week to figure out how to win. And I just couldn't take my chances, and I'm so gutted. But, 8-2 is kind of my average aim right now, because 8 wins, 2 losses per 10 games gives me 32 wins for the week. So if I have a bad run, that means I'd still likely get 29 wins, which is elite, which is what we're going for. And if I have a good run, we hopefully push up to 34 wins. So I'm going to focus on doing that over the next 30 games. Another 8-2 and 2 9-1s, I'll be happy. That'd be 34 wins. But I just want to share with you some of the stats from the game. So I've scored 30 goals in my first 10 games and conceded 9, and 6 of those 9 goals came in 2 games. So in 8 of the other games, I've conceded only 3 goals. My opponents have had 37 shots between them in the 10 games. I've had 87 shots. Shots on target is 28 to 58, and all that kind of stuff doesn't really matter. Average shots per game, I have an average of 9 shots per game, and I concede an average of 4 shots per game. And it does seem to be that my biggest problem is when I give my opponents the space to shoot, obviously, logically, they're scoring goals. So against the tough opponents, I need to figure out a better way to shut up shop and not allow those shots, because against the other dudes, if they don't have shots, they can't score goals. So I need to figure that out a little bit right there. The formation I come up against the most was a 4-3-2-1. I got 4 rage quits in the 10 games in real quick succession as well. 3 of them in the space, I think, like 9 minutes, 26 minutes, and 13 minutes or something was like the game. So a lot of like real easy stuff there. But I've been doing all right. Interestingly, I've only had 19 corners in all the games. I'm yet to score a goal from a corner, and I've only conceded 1 goal from a corner, and it was that one that I lost. And even in that game, that dude scored 2 goals with his right back, with Carl Walker. 1 from a header and 1 late on in the game. I don't know why Carl Walker was in the middle of the box, but he was there and he scored the goal. I've been rotating teams as well, which may have some impact on my gameplay, but I don't believe so. I think right now I've got 2 phenomenal teams. I'm still 5 or 6 games away. 5 games away from getting Sandro to 10, Manolas to 7, and Azpilicueta to 10 chemistry, and then indeed the overall team chemistry will go up to 100. It will make a very minor difference to the team, but it will make a difference to the team. So I'm happy with how both teams are performing. I genuinely am. I think I've got two fantastic teams. I'm using, if you don't know, yeah, if you don't know, I'll show the two teams. So that was the first team that you saw on the screen there that was there for a few minutes. And then the second team here, this is the second team that I'm using. I've been trying Ibra at centre mid. It's been a bit hit and miss. Quite often I'm swapping formations or swapping out, what's his name? Suarez for Ibrahimovic and playing Ibra up front. But saying that, Suarez has been an absolute revelation for me this FUT Champs. He's scoring some good goals and a lot of goals. You know, he's doing really well. He's really he's proven himself to be a superstar striker, and Cristiano Ronaldo is just absolute don. His goals not really as much anymore since now that I've got Hazard in the team permanently, this attack and Ibra in there. There's goals coming from everywhere now, so Ronaldo doesn't do necessarily as much as before. But this is like I played 2 games with this team, and then I switched to the other team and played 1 game with the other team. And once again, I am pretty gutted. I can't help but, like, I know a lot of people will say you're just complaining, get better at FIFA, learn to deal with it, and I agree. Like, you know, the onus is on me to figure out how to beat those people. But that doesn't make me any less frustrated walking away with a loss in a game that I feel like I should have won. You know, I felt like I'd played better and created more goal-scoring opportunities, more good goal-scoring opportunities. You know, he literally scored from a cross, from a long shot. I can't even remember how his first goal went in. It was probably a regular FIFA goal, if I can't remember how it is. But yeah, a bit aggrieved to be 8-2, but it's not the worst thing in the world. As long as we can keep this momentum up, 8-2, 16-4, 32-8, I'm happy with 32-8. You know, it's not ideally where I want to be. I do want to be pushing on for Elite 1 now every week, and it's going to be tough for me to do that if I can't get my head in the game properly and really try and figure out how to beat these tough opponents to break them down. But I'm going to give it my best shot. So just to show you guys as well, one time real quick, I'm going to show you the player stats that we've got in the teams. So Eden Hazard now up to 817 games. Chris Smalling 809, Heung-min Son at 661, De Gea 583, Smalling as well, still no red cards in, that's crazy. Costa 438, Chan 417, Bellerin over 400 now, Lacazette 300, Zlatan's nearly 300 games himself, Chadley 221, Firmino's pushing up towards 200, Winston Reid at 150, Luis Suarez already at 143, Alonso 140, Nainggolan and Dele Alli doing great works, Seamus Coleman up over 100, then Ronaldo's one of the dudes that doesn't really have the most games. As Piliqueta and Sandro, their games will go up quite quick, as will Manolas now that we're playing with them. Dembele and Mane, their games won't really change. In terms of the goals, Hazard now has 506 goals, 301 assists. For me, that is a fantastic return. I can't fault it. And then I'll show you the assists there as well, dudes, if you want to see those. But this is going to be the end of the video for today, guys. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.